If you've ever turned on inspection mode with one of our lights and thought, wow, my finish looks terrible, this video is for you. Today I'll show you how to use the inspection lights correctly and what you should and shouldn't worry about. Stay tuned. Before we get going today, I'd like to start by setting everybody's expectations. No wood finish will ever look like a sheet of glass under these inspection lights. Not lacquer, not conversion varnish, not UV finishes. It doesn't matter if you spray, wipe, brush, or roll. The mirror perfect look is a myth under this type of lighting. I want you to think of inspection mode like putting your finish under a microscope. The light is low and it's raking, so it exaggerates every pore, every speck of dust and little pinholes. That doesn't mean you did a bad job. It just means that the way that we're shining light on the finish is unnatural, and it's only intended to highlight the issue areas that need your attention. In real life, we don't walk around with a raking inspection light looking at our furniture. We live under normal overhead lighting, so this mode is for quality control, not for judging your work by an impossible standard. These inspection lights are built to find major issues before you cure. Things that will really show up later, even in normal lighting. Stuff like runs, sags, big dust pieces, hairs, thin spots. Here's what you should stop and fix. Obviously, the holidays in your finish, big dust or a piece of hair sitting on your finish on the surface, spots where the sheen suddenly changes because the film is too thin. Those are all worth correcting before you cure. Now, with a UV finish, you have almost unlimited open time to fix these issues, unlike traditional finish, where there's a limited window of time to do so. Now, here's what you'll always see under these inspection modes, no matter what. Grain telegraphing through the finish, tiny pinholes or open pores, slight surface texture. That's okay. Those details are part of real wood, and they'll disappear visually once we get out of this extreme lighting. That's normal wood in normal finishing. You have just never looked at wood like this before, so it looks different than you would expect. If a flaw only shows up under the harsh inspection lights but disappears in the normal overhead light, that's usually not a real problem. Don't chase every microscopic dot or pore. You'll waste time and you'll never finish a project. Also, your first seal coat will look significantly worse than all other coats. It will look downright awful. Just follow your normal pattern of sealing, sanding, and applying the next coat. That's when the inspection light really comes into play. All right, here's how you do it. You hold the light at a low angle so that the beam rakes right across the surface. You get this light right up to the edge of your workpiece, and you get the angle just right until you start to see the flaws. You'll know when you get this just right. I suggest practicing with your seal coat, as it will have the most flaws of any coat. When you see a major issue under the light, stop and fix it right away. Touch up thin or missed areas, level a run, knock down a big dust nib, or pull a hair out of the finish with your tweezers. I use these pointy ones I got off Amazon for only a few dollars. They're awesome. If you use inspection mode to chase absolute perfection, you'll drive yourself crazy. The goal is not a flawless mirror. The goal is a solid, even, defect-free finish when viewed under normal lighting in a real world. All right, let's get to it and see how this works. I'm going to be using my Lite & Done Pro model, and today we're going to be applying Clean Armor 716 wiping varnish. The wood's been sanded to 220. I'll be applying either 2 or 3 coats. Let's see how it goes. All right, just moving this finish around. It doesn't really matter how you apply 716. Since it's a wiping varnish, we're not worried about brush strokes or any of that stuff because we're going to be buffing this finish out once we get to this certain point where we feel it's ready to buff. So all we're doing is we're just moving the finish around and letting it soak into the wood. Then we're going to buff it off and we're going to hit our inspection lights and we're going to take a look and see if we have any issues with the finish or if we have any areas that we're a little bit light in on the finish where we're maybe missed a little bit. Try to do my best here to get everything just perfect. All right, now just a quick little tip. There's a rocker switch on the back of this light, and one side is Pure UV and the other side is Lite. I usually do this very close to the bench so I don't accidentally start curing because these finishes will go off very quickly. So just do this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to look at the top. And then I'm going to do that raking light. Now I can see all sorts of bubbles in here. It's just absolutely full of bubbles, little imperfections in here and everything like that. See if you could see any of this stuff in the camera here. Yeah, there's little areas here that are just little pieces of grain where the finish is going into. And that's normal. This is absolutely normal. The first finish coat, the seal coat, is going to be the absolute worst. It's going to show all the imperfections. It's going to show everything. And I can see right where did it go? Right there, I missed a little bit of finish. So I'm going to come back and get that in a second. Yeah, these lights are pretty amazing. They really do show everything. All of these little dots, absolutely everything. All right, let's put a little piece of area over there. All right, let's give it one more pass here. All right, now that we've let that sit for just a minute, get our rag here and buff it all off. All right, I really like that. We're going to turn on the inspection lights one more time, and we're going to take a look, see if we see anything. And with a wiping varnish, it's going to be a little bit easier to get a better finish this way, which is why I love the 716 so much. See, there's actually a hair right there. Get that out of there. All right, everything is looking great. Now I'm going to hide my finish in my rags. And let's switch over to cure mode. All right, I just want to mention that with the 716, you can actually get that close to the finish. But if this were a film finish like the Clean Armor 700, that would wrinkle the finish if you had that 1 mil of wet finish on there. The 716, you can get these lights pretty close. I still suggest maybe starting a little further bit away. I'm obviously a professional at this, and I do this a lot, so I know what I can get away with. But these new Light and Done Pro models, they're extremely powerful. Just be careful with them. It's better to start further away and then work your way in as the finish cures. All right, that was our first pass. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to start again for our next coat. All right, looks like this is flattening out beautifully. I see it filling up all the little holes that I missed the first time around. Let's go ahead and let's use an old rag here. And let's start to rag it off. Now you don't have to throw these rags away, you can keep them. They will keep indefinitely, especially with the Clean Armor loaded in them. So if you wanted to use this as an applicator for the next round, you absolutely could. Oh, that is feeling so much better already. It's very smooth. Wow, fantastic. All right, we're going to switch to lighting mode again. Inspection lights, see what we see.
A little something right there. That looks fantastic. Look at that. That is absolutely a perfect surface. I love the 716. All right. I'm going to back this light off a little bit. We're going to go into cure mode now. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit that one more time. We'll see if I can do my third coat here without even adding any to the surface. I'm literally using just what was left in my brush. The third coat is going to obviously go on very nicely since all the pores are filled at this point. All the grain is filled up. This is just adding yet another layer of protection. Oh yeah, looks like we're going to be able to finish this project with just the finish that was left in my brush. Yep. All right, for my final cure, I'm going to actually take this light and get it out of the frame because I don't want it to be too close. I don't want to ruin this very last perfect coat. So I'm just going to go back here, get it 3 feet away, do a soft set from about 3 feet away, and then I'm going to come in just a minute, and then I'm going to really get some light and some irradiation into this finish. There you go. Perfectly smooth, perfectly durable, 716 finish. No issues with the finish whatsoever. No nibs, no dust, no streaks, nothing. Here we go. Final shot. Absolutely perfect, flawless finish. Those inspection lights really helped. The most important takeaway is this. This inspection light is a tool, not a judge and jury. Use it to catch big problems, not to chase microscopic imperfections that you'll never see in real life. Use the inspection mode to work smarter, not harder, and to set realistic expectations for what a great finish actually looks like. If you're interested in picking up one of our curing lights or downloading our ultimate UV light buyer's guide, head over to the Light and Done website. Happy woodworking, and I'll see you in the next video.